PC. Welcome to the Inner Sleeve Vinyl Enthusiasts. I'm your host DR. Today I have another vinyl arrivals video. And today we're going to be talking about thrash metal, one of the genres I've really gotten into lately. I don't know how it is with you guys, but I've seemed to have gone through different genres here as I'm growing my collection where I'll really dive into something. And right now I'm getting a big thrash education and growing my thrash vinyl collection. So without further ado, let's look at today's first record. So this one's by Forbidden. It's their first studio album called Forbidden Evil. Actually, Forbidden went by Forbidden Evil at first and then changed their name, I think, right when this record came out. So before they actually had an album out, or a full-length album. But this one is a reissue, and it's on that ultra-rare limited edition black vinyl. So you can see the hype there. Go ahead and check out the back of the jacket. Now, Forbidden is a band that I'm somewhat familiar with. Picked up their second album earlier this year, or earlier last year, like around summertime. So I really like that one. We got Greg Los Cicero on lead guitar, Matt Camacho on bass, Glenn Avelius on lead guitar, Paul Bostaph on drums, and Russ Anderson on vocals. A lot of good songs on here: Chalice of Blood, Off the Edge, Through Eyes of Glass, Forbidden Evil, March into Fire, Feel No Pain, As Good as Dead, and Follow Me. Like I said, this was the reissue. This one was put out by Century Media. I'm going to use my notes so I get these things right. Originally, it was released in 1988 on Combat Records. This is their first studio album out of 5. They were a Bay Area thrash band, and definitely really liking Forbidden. So, quick look here at the ultra limited black vinyl here on the Combat label. So, Combat label always looks pretty cool. It's got that camouflage look to it. Moving on to our next arrival here. This is by Artillery, and it's called By Inheritance. Pretty cool album cover. You guys can see that, how it goes from caveman through to modern man and then to future man, if you will. It almost looks like a cyborg and starts to look like a monkey again. This is their American LP debut. They actually put out 2 albums before this, but they weren't released in the US. This is it was released in 1990. Again, Danish thrash metal band. This is the blue with red splatter vinyl. So it looks pretty cool, so I'm excited to show you that. Artillery, this is the first album that I've gotten by them. I think I've streamed one other album. So far, I'm really liking what I hear, so I definitely have more to explore in my thrash education with Artillery. Kind of hard to read the back here. I don't know the names of the band off the top of my head, so I assume a lot of you guys do. You can put them in the comments below, or maybe I will. I did want to mention that they have 10 albums out. Like I said, this first 2 weren't released in the US, and I'm not really sure about the rest of them. They're still active, as far as I know. I forgot to mention for Forbidden, I don't think they've been active since 2012, so you can't go out and see them right now. Don't know if they'll get back together again. I'm not sure if one of the main guys passed away or something like that, but I'm sure you guys would know that are smarter than I or more informed than I. But here's that blue with red splatter vinyl with the white Road Runner Records label. Looks pretty cool. 7 O'Clock from Tashkent is kind of a neat instrumental lead into the record. Comaniac is a good song, really hitting hard in the beginning. Beneath the Clay, R.I.P., which is a really good song as well. By Inheritance, Bomb Food, I really like Bomb Food. That's a pretty kick-ass track. And then Don't Believe, Life in Bondage, Equal at First, Razamanaz, yeah, it's pretty good. I love that. That's a really cool song. And Back in the Trash is another good one. All killer tracks on this album. Definitely good classic thrash. I'm interested to check more of their albums out for sure. So this is my next vinyl arrival, Exodus's sophomore album. This one is called Pleasures of the Flesh. Obviously a classic album. Exodus is what many consider to be the fifth one of the big five, if you call the big five instead of big four. Obviously, you guys know the big four are Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. So, taking a look at the hype, it says Opaque. This is the Opaque blue vinyl, the Bay Area thrash legends' unforgettable sophomore release, featuring Till Death Do Us Part, Pleasures of the Flesh, and Chemical. This is actually on a gatefold, which is kind of nice. The other two were not. So we'll take a look here first at our jacket. Nice, easily legible songs. Obviously, Exodus is a classic band. You have Zetra on the vocals, or Steve Sousa, or however you say his name, Sousa. And then you have Gary Holt for guitar, Tom Hunting, I forget. So I'm, again, off the top of my head, I don't remember all this stuff, but appreciate you guys filling me in and correcting me down below. But we have Deranged, Till Death Do Us Part, Parasite, awesome song, Brain Dead, Faster Than You'll Ever Be, Pleasures of the Flesh, 30 Seconds, Seeds of Hate, Chemical, another great song, Choose Your Weapon. Love this album. They did a good job with this reissue. This was originally released in 1987. This was originally released in 1987 on Combat. This reissue is from 2019. Exodus actually has 11 studio albums now. They obviously just came out with one called Persona Non Grata. Here's what the gatefold looks like. Pretty cool. And I don't know if this was the original album art or just an alternate cover. I know that I believe they had to change it because Pleasures of the Flesh, I think they had kind of a grotesque album cover, at least to the people that like the band crap. The lyrics in here are really small. I got to get out my reading glasses to read them. And then the only other thing they had here, they had an insert, but it was just the two album covers, if you will. So we got the one that I have, and then we got this one, which I think, like I said, is either the original, an alternate, or some other art, if you will. But I really, really like Exodus. Most of the stuff I've just gotten into recently. Obviously, I've been into the core stuff like Metallica and Megadeth and Slayer ever since I was a teenager. But a lot of these other bands, I wasn't in an area where I really got to check them out or hear much about them. So, last but not least, let's make sure we check out this Opaque blue vinyl. Looks pretty cool. Again, they had a couple different variations of this. This was the one that I was able to get from the same seller that had a couple other things I wanted on Discogs. So I actually got all of these through Discogs. I think most of them were also brick and mortar record stores. But, you know, I have ordered things through my local record store here as well, which I tend to do when I get there, but I haven't been there for a little bit. I'm changing that next week. I'm going to hit the record store up. And I'm sure we'll have a lot more vinyl arrivals to show you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys are fans of these bands and talk about your favorite albums by them down below in the comments, that'd be awesome to start a conversation. And we'll see you next time. Keep that turntable spinning. See ya.